flow is helping us to track all this demand and supply live in markets, in real-time market hours. Now, I'll use these words interchangeably. Red for us is supply, green for us is demand. So it means the same thing. When I say greens, I mean demand. When I say reds, I mean supply, right? Now, in an order flow chart, if you know already that the demand is on your right-hand side and your supply is on your left-hand side, we have to just add a little bit more information to this bar. So this is a typical bar. I'm working with a 30-minute bar, just as an example over here, and I'll walk you through how you need to read this in a 3-minute bar also. So let's focus on this particular bar. It's got a longish kind of a thing, 19285 to about 19370. That's a 100-point move over here. Nothing to do with these 100 points, but let's try to understand what happened. Now, just hear me out. It's a little bit technical over here, but I'm going to try to read to you what exactly happened in this bar. Just hear me out, and I'll try to make sense of all these numbers which are coming in this bar. So here's where this previous bar was. This is also a 30-minute bar with a range of 19297 to 19276. And this is the open, high, low, and close. So if you put your mouse over here, you can see the open was at 19281. The high was 19297. The low was 19276. And the close was 19285. Okay. And the reason, okay, this bar is green is because the open and the close was higher than the open. That's why this bar is green in color, right? In this particular bar, the close is lower than the open. So we can say the open is here and the low is here. And you can make out, okay, that the color given to it was red. Now, we don't want to work, okay, with these traditional definitions of colors, but that's a point, okay, we will cover later. But I want you to understand over here that within this bar, the open is higher and the close of the bar is right here. So at the close, you can see this 460 and 373. These are the buyers which had come right at the close of this bar. Okay. Now, this bar is done. What happens next? The market opens over here, right? Because it's closed over here. This is the opening price. So you can see the 0 and the 3. This is the open of the next bar. And this bar is this bar at 145. Now, hear me out. I'll just walk you through what happened. Okay. Nothing comes in here. This is all numbers in lots, by the way. So there is a 3-lot buyer, 27-lot buyer, 23-lot buyer. Okay, there is a 6-lot seller on the other side. There is a 13-lot buyer, 16-lot buyer. Now the buyer decides to get aggressive. He's added 156 lots on the buy side. Okay, the seller sees that, comes immediately to counter him. So that's why, okay, you see this 149 lots being added. The buyer adds 22, he adds 16. The seller, okay, tries to add some more, 151 on the other side. Now, small pause over here. All the numbers, okay, which you see on your order flow chart, they are all relative to the market. Okay, so there's nothing called a very big number in the order flow, and there's nothing called a very small number in the order flow. Everything is relative to the volume at that point of time. So suppose I'm in a low volume market at about 1115 or 1120, and I put in about 300 lots to buy the market. I can easily move the market at about 30 or 40 points, okay, with my 300 lots going in one shot. Because at 1115, 1120, the market is not that liquid. It's a thin market, right? So that 300 lots suddenly becomes big for a thin market. But suppose, okay, I enter a 1,000-lot position at the open at about 917, 918. Now, at the open, 917, 918, there is a lot of traders, okay, who trade the market. Everybody is waiting for the market to open, and they come and they want to trade the market right at the open. So there is a lot of volume, okay, which comes in that 5, 10, 15-minute window right at the open. So then even a 1,000-lot buyer or a 1,000-lot seller will not have much of an impact to make on the market, because the surrounding liquidity is on the larger side. So very important thing to know as you are looking at order flow, the numbers by themselves do not mean a lot. Everything is relative to what is happening, right? So let's continue. Okay, the buyer, okay, was trying to ascend the market. The seller is coming here, 135.46. Now, okay, the buyer takes note of all the supply which is coming in, and he starts initiating. So you see this 151, 173, the seller is not giving him an answer yet. Okay, this is all happening, okay, quick. I'm just reading out to you how to understand the flow. Now the buyer sees there is a chance to go and pick this market up higher, 232, 232, 342. The seller sees that the buyer is adding, so he comes in, okay, to arrest the rise higher in prices. So you can see over here 252, 520, okay, he's coming to add size back to the market. At this point, the buyer, okay, decides to get a little bit more aggressive. He waits, okay, for a few seconds and then initiates a lot more. So 100, 112, 118, 70, 56, 168, he's initiating positions and he takes out all the supply in the market. And then, okay, he goes, price moves up because, okay, the demand from the lower end has overcome supply. And when demand is greater than supply, price has to move up, right? So some of these sellers who came in are now, okay, liquidating here, okay, and that's how, okay, price is floating. Now, it comes over here, right, at about 19,370, okay, 961, 856, 870. 961, 856, and 870. Okay. Now look at these numbers, 961, 856, and look at it down below. Do you see the size anywhere else lower at 19,300, 19,310, 19,320? Suddenly, the buyer has to add a lot more size to move the market up. You do not see these numbers traded anywhere else lower because it was easy for him to move the market up. But there is a lot more effort put by the buyer to move the price up here at 19,364, not so much here at 19,290. Now, when the buyer has to put so much effort up, the seller who is monitoring all this order flow real time sees that there is an opportunity. So he enters into a very big sell order over here, and this becomes an RS, a responsive selling pattern. You see this 870 over here, he tried over here, he tried over here. He saw, okay, that the buyer was adding a lot more over here. So that's why, okay, he came in here with a larger size and he kept adding, and then the market, okay, moves in through IS pattern and drops off. And this is just an example, but this example tells you how price moves in the market. It's a function of volume coming on the demand side, and it's also a function of volume coming on the supply side. Now, this is an